Ontic plans to expand its global presence by establishing new MRO centers, maintenance, repair, and overhaul, in the US and in Europe. These facilities are going to provide localized support for aerospace components, improving turnaround times and service quality for regional customers. This expansion is actually aligning with Ontic's strategy to meet the growing demand. We've seen it. We've talked about it a lot before on the show. Setting up new MRO centers involves significant investment in infrastructure, workforce training, and regulatory compliance.
Yeah, I mean, MRO success isn't just about opening up a new center, that's for sure. It's about making sure you've got a stable supply of replacement parts, making sure your technicians are skilled, and that you've got rapid turnaround time. So the biggest challenge is avoiding delays caused by global supply chain. That's a macro issue, and the disruptions. You've got part shortages, and then you've got your skilled labor constraints, all of which can directly impact service levels and customer retention. I would like to think when they build the center, they've thought of all of that. But the one thing, they're both difficult to get ahead of.
Yeah. Could they build some redundancies into their inventory and inventory processes that kind of help with delays caused by global supply chain issues that they don't have control over? I mean, at that point, it's a question of how much do we hold on to in case of an emergency? But then you've got funds tied up in inventory that isn't doing anything.
Correct. I mean, that's the big trade-off, isn't it? But how much stock do you keep on hand without turning your warehouse into a museum of expensive paperweights?
Yeah.
I thought I had to bring that analogy in there again. But redundancies can help with your supply chain delays, but just stockpiling parts is not the answer. It's about strategic inventory management, aka smart stockpiling.
So it's a strong mess mom, right? I mean, even if you've got the best mess mom, though, how can you inventory properly with the chaos that the supply chain can bring sometimes?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just the mess mom, it's a few things. So because your supply chains, they love to break at the worst possible time. You can't just buy your way out of the problem by hoarding inventory like a doomsday prepper, so to speak. The trick is a dynamic, connected approach that keeps your stock lean but ready. And that's where our critical thread solution comes in. Number one, you need your material planning and your inventory management, rolling. So your mess mom will track your real-time usage, and demand forecasts will push back into that MRP. So you've got stock based on actual failure rates, not guesswork. Then you're going to integrate your bombs linked directly to inventory, ensure that your right parts are ordered before shortages happen. Then you move into your supply chain integration for resiliency. So you've got supplier collaboration via product lifecycle management and supply chain management. Integration, and that's going to let you see those disruptions before they even hit and adjust your orders dynamically. And then lastly, localized manufacturing and on-demand part production. So digital twins plus 3D printing is an instant backup option. So for critical components, you don't want to wait on global logistics. You want to be able to print it locally if possible.
On the supply chain.
And some MRO centers already use additive manufacturing for replacement parts, and that just cuts huge lead times from weeks to often hours. Next.